All right, everyone, we are 22 days away from the presidential election. And you've probably been inundated with all the breaking news about campaign stops both Mitt Romney and Barack Obama have been making each day and night. The second of 3 presidential debates takes place tomorrow night, but there's a growing sentiment that some people will be missing from the stage, that the two-party system is no longer viable here. So we want to tell you about another debate taking place. Here's part of an ad coming out promoting it.
Step outside the two-party stranglehold and wake up. Learn what's being discussed outside the rigged two-party political system. The top 6 2012 presidential candidates have been invited to participate. Confirmed candidates include Gary Johnson, Libertarian Party, Jill Stein, Green Party, Virgil Goode, Constitution Party, and Rocky Anderson, Justice Party. This historic presidential debate will take place on October 23rd at 8 p.m. Central Time at the University Club of Chicago.
So a debate for third-party candidates, many of whom you will see on the ballot in most states, and yet whose ideas you rarely hear about because the media rarely pays them any mind, or for that matter, any airtime. Joining me to talk more about this is Christina Tobin, founder and chair of Free and Fair Elections. Christina, talk to me a little bit about next week's debate. Have you invited the president and Governor Romney to participate?
Well, thank you for having me. We're with the Free and Equal Elections Foundation, and of course we did invite both Romney and Obama to participate in this debate. But as we know, the Commission on Presidential Debates is committing a fraud on the American voters, according to the League of Voters. And I don't expect them to attend, but we welcome them to. But we do have 4 candidates confirmed for this debate.
Talk a little bit about some of the issues you expect to come up. I mean, will this be similar topics that we've seen in the debates that we've seen so far?
I would say maybe not. Probably actually what the people want throughout the United States, from economic, foreign policy. We're also going to talk about the threat of Stop Top 2 spreading across the nation, the biggest threat to our electoral process ever. People don't know about. It'll be our opening question. But, you know, we're going to interact with the people and bring in the internet and let the people, you know, through online sources, maybe YouTube, so on, ask the questions, at least the final question, and our sponsors as well. So it's going to be really interactive and getting the real issues out there, not only within America, but worldwide. There's a lot of things going on in the world that our current presidential commissions has not addressed. And that's wrong.
I want to talk to you a little bit more broadly about elections in general. They're supposed to be free and equal and fair, both according to the Constitution and really as part of democracy as a whole. When do you think elections stopped becoming free and fair?
Oh, it started back in 1870 with the creation of the Austrian ballots, ballot access, restrictive ballot access barriers. The #1 reason Ron Paul didn't run for as a third-party candidate back in 2008 is because of the difficult ballot access barriers. And then you have the closed debates, you have the fraud. We don't have real electoral, you know, issues like proportional representation, which are great things. And you know, free and equal elections, we support opening the debates, getting rid of fraud, you know, all these sort of things. So it all derived from the creation of the Austrian ballots and then the FECA back in the 30s, 40s, and then the Federal Reserve. Wow, that's the scariest component of our electoral system, that these few guys at the very top, they control almost all of our politicians, Democrats and Republicans alike.
And it's really interesting. I know there was a big article out today in the New York Times about Libertarian candidate and former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson. We've had him on RT a few times. But according to this article, the Libertarian candidate who's on the ballot in I think every state except Michigan and Oklahoma is starting to worry Republican operatives. They're concerned about Johnson being the sort of Ralph Nader of today. In other words, the candidate who gets votes that would have instead gone to one of the other majority candidates. Christina, talk about the mindset here and also about some of the tactics being used both to intimidate voters and to try to block some of Governor Johnson's efforts.
Oh, don't be fooled by it. Back in the last election when they labeled Ralph Nader as a spoiler, there's like over 20 candidates that ran in Florida that had enough votes to change the elections. Again, the real issue here is the two-party stranglehold of the system. The people in office, the Ds and Rs alike, are controlled by the central banks, which is controlled by the Federal Reserve, which are these, you know, powerful guys at the top. So if you want to hear the real issues, go on our website, freeandequal.org, and reserve today. Reserve to watch our online live feed of the debate October 23rd. It's actually going to be at the Hilton Chicago now. We outgrew the University Club, so we're really excited about that. Again, at freeandequal.org for real elections. All elections shall be free and equal. Constitution.
What about the role of the mainstream media here? I mean, do you expect this will, I know you're going to have it live streaming on the website, but do you expect this is something that's going to be covered by the major news networks?
It's huge. We are announcing a world-renowned moderator tomorrow, no later than Wednesday. He's bigger than Judge Napolitano. I'm so excited, and we're expecting lots of media. Russia Today, of course, from Al Jazeera to all these different, even Fox maybe coming on board, C-SPAN. I mean, I'm so excited. You know, this is going to be covered not only within the U.S., but worldwide. We have a group of kids and leaders coming in from Egypt to attend this debate, so I'm so excited. This is an historic debate to open the elections and shift the power back to the people, back to the origins of the Constitution. Our forefathers said parties don't work, and parties don't work. They're evil. They said we're back to the individuals, the independence, and 2014 is the key to shift the power back, to run for office.
And I know that here on RT we have a show called The Big Picture hosted by Thom Hartmann. Tom will be at that debate. What do you think he should be kind of keeping his eyes out for when he's there?
Well, he's going to be one of 5 political correspondents with Josh Tolley and a couple others, hopefully Ben Swann with Fox and so on, Al Jazeera. We want to get Amy Goodman, but we got a couple confirmed there, and thank you, Kevin, for being there. So talking about the stranglehold of the system, again, the closed debates. Why did Ron Paul, you know, the Republican Party, they'd rather crash the party than let a good man like Ron Paul take over? Ralph Nader, maybe he'll come in on be there, Jesse Ventura. You know, talk to these people that have experienced the problems, celebrities, and so on. I mean, I'm so excited Tom will be there, and we'll also be having a second debate a week later, October 30th in Washington, D.C., of which the people will decide through instant runoff voting on October 23rd which 2 candidates will advance to the final debate. I'm so excited that this is all happening. It's so surreal.
And I should mention, certainly a lot of our viewers, Christina, know that this is not just something that takes place outside of the two-party system. I was, in Tampa for the RNC, and even within the Republican Party, there was a lot of backlash against, just within the Republican, nomination. There is a process, and it just wasn't followed. We saw that with, so much support for delegates who came there to support Ron Paul and were basically ignored. So it is really interesting, and I just wanted to mention that this isn't just sort of outside of the two-party system. It's even within that system that, rules aren't being followed, and people are certainly being frustrated. So we appreciate what you're doing. Christina Tobin, founder of Free and Equal Elections Foundation. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.